محمد وآل محمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi.
Are you serious? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The idea of this, it's his book. He's talking to you. It's a love letter. Oh, okay. Thanks. All right, we're journaling it, which means we're personalizing it. I'm not quite sure what this is. Okay, let's go for it. You all know the introduction to journaling. I went through the color directory, and most of you may have this on the YouTube videos. I don't know whether it's already on the WhatsApp group, but it should be. If it isn't, we'll make sure it's on. Surah Al-Fatiha, surah number 1. Name, Fatiha. What does it mean? The opening. What was the summary? What was the focus?
Summary of the whole Quran.
Is that coming out of your ears?
Yes.
It should do. Okay. Next one. Surah Al-Baqarah. Surah number 2. What was it meaning? Cow. What is the focus? History of Iman. I'll repeat again. What is the focus?
History of Iman.
You've got that with you, right? We went over Sura Aali Imraan as in the building last week. So Sura Aali Imraan, Surah number 3. Aali Imraan is the family of Imran. I'm not going to go into the stories right now, but we're talking about Sayyidah Maryam here. So family of Imran, what is the focus of this surah?
How do you establish
Muslim identity, right? And I went through the whole thing. Now we're going to start journaling today. And the first ayah we're going to look at is ayah number 8, that is in surah number 3. So open your Qur'ans, surah number 3, ayah 8. I'd like you to look at the ayah before it. Always when you're doing journaling or you're looking at the Qur'an, look back and forth a little bit, okay? I'm going to make you look at ayah number 7. And it says, هُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ عَلَيْكَ الْكِتَابَ. It is he who sent down the book. مِنْهُ آيَاتٌ مُحْكَمَاتٌ. In it there are ayat, there are muhkamat. Muhkamat means it's firm, it's obvious, it's
Decisive.
very, very easy to understand, and it's decisive. Okay? So it's very easy. Says something, do it, and you're going to do it. But then it says, هُنَّ أُمُّ الْكِتَابِ. And that's basically the basis of the book. But he says, وَأُخَرَ مُتَشَابِهَاتٍ. There are some ayah that are mutashabihat. They're similar to each other. There's a little bit of difference. And then we start looking at those ayat and saying, oh, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that happens. So he is now talking about the Quran, and he's saying, I'll come to this ayah in a minute. And if you look right at the bottom, he says that is the second, if you look at the end of ayah 7, and you're looking at the last bit, the last two sections, وَالرَّاسِخُونَ فِي الْعِلْمِ. Rasikhun is somebody who absorbs knowledge. Somebody who is absolutely sure about themselves, and they make themselves ulul albab, which is the last bit of 7. Ulul albab, in essence, if I can talk about lub is somebody with a sound mind. Now before I go in this ayah, this one here, it refers to those who are absolutely sure that this is the word of God. It's not up to me to say whether you say the same. It's not up to you to tell me that. But you and I have to look within ourselves and say, is this the word of God? I'm going to go back to how I talk to children. Maybe I've said this before, but I'm going to repeat it again. When I talk to young girls at workshop, and I have girls between the ages of 14 and 16, so you know that their hormones are all a bit funky, right? So I tell them, say for example, you saw this guy, okay, all halal, huh? Nothing halal. So this guy, and he went abroad the next day, but he managed to get your email address, well not email address, he got your address, and he sent you a letter, but the letter was in Chinese. But it had perfume all over it, and it was so lovely. And you opened it, and it's Chinese. What are you going to do? And she said, or they said, that they would translate it. They would get it. They'll go to Google Translate, but that doesn't do it very well. They would pay a translator to translate it. But say it was in prose and poetry like Shakespeare. They would get a Chinese expert to come and explain to them what that thing meant. Would they not? Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes.
Okay. So this particular ayah, this particular dua that we read all the time, is a dua recited by those who absolutely know that this is their Rabb and this is His letter to them to take them to their full potential. And remember that that girl with the letter and all the rest of it. Okay, fine. So now go to this ayah. The reason why you've got two hearts upside down is either you have a heart that is, and you've got stickers by the way, you've either got a heart that's not quite sure whether it believes in this book or not, and you've got a heart that does believe. If you have a heart that believes, then your Qur'an should not be pristine. I repeat again. If it's pristine and it's not read through and it's not understood, then you're just, in Swahili they say juju. Just on top. So you're just doing things on top.
Not juju, juju.
Juju, okay. She said juju. So now, keep that in mind. Absolutely sure that this is the word of God. Okay, and that's why we're here. So let's go through it. Rabbana, our Rabb. La tuzigh qulubana. Okay? So zayg is, don't take me away. Don't deviate. Don't deviate our hearts. Ba'da id hadaytana. After we have got guidance. Companions of the Prophet sitting with him, he said, I'm so worried about you. And they said, Ya Rasulullah, why are you worried about us? We fast, we pray, we go to the mosque, we do everything. Why are you worried? He said, because hypocrisy will creep upon you like a black ant on a black rock on a black night. So this is what they're saying. They're saying, I know we believe right now. What happens when we go outside? What happens, when things are different? So here, you continually say this, رَبَّنَا لَا تُزِغْ قُلُوبَنَا بَعْدَ إِذْ هَدَيْتَنَا. And then وَهَّبْ لَنَا. Hiba is a gift. In Arabic, hiba is a gift. So you're saying, gift us. It's not like we deserve it. A gift is not given because you deserve it, because somebody out of the goodness of their hearts gives it to you. So gift us, مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً, from you, mercy. The greatest mercy, the greatest rahmah in life is guidance. A mom is the most merciful creature that is produced. And when she tells her child off, she tells her child off for the sole reason that she cares for her child. Anybody, a teacher, a child, member of the community. So you do that because you care. So you're saying, وَهَبْ لَنَا مِن لَدُنْكَ رَحْمَةً. Continuously guide us, continuously. إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الْوَهَّابِ. And Wahhab is the most beautiful name of Allah, which means one who gives again and again and again. I mean, he doesn't stop giving. Whatever you try to do to him, he won't stop giving. And in the Asma al-Husna, Wahhab is number 16. Are you going to remember that's number 16? Oh, come on. Sweet 16, yes? And Surah number 16 is Surah Al-Nahl, because honey is sweet. You good with that? Yeah. So 16 is Wahhab. He grants you honey. You don't get honey just like that. You good? So you'll remember 16 is Wahhab. Even if you forget Wahhab, you know 16. Even if you forget this ayah, continuously, Ya Wahhab. Gift me. I don't deserve anything I want, but give me. Are you good? Come on, yes, no, maybe, perhaps. God Almighty. I love those kids on Saturday. All right, now we're going to go to 316. You've highlighted this one, by the way, and you put the sticker on, right? Now, 316 is an ayah of forgiveness, okay? Now, let's see who asks for forgiveness here, like this. Now, in your stickers, you can either put the dua thing on or forgiveness on, I don't know, whatever you want, okay? I think we've given you a choice. So first of all, now we're going to look at the ayah after, and I've picked these particularly, so you look at ayahs before and after. Now let's see who says these du'as. Ayah number 17, As-Sabirin. Can you see that? Number 17 first, right? We're going to go backwards. Sabirin is one who perseveres. Was-Sadiqin. You get? One who is truthful. Then, what-Qanitin. Qanitin is one who is proactively obedient. وَالْمُنْفِقِينَ, those who share. And then وَالْمُسْتَغْفِرِينَ بِالْأَسْحَارِ, those who do istighfar in the morning, those who pray Salatul Layl, those who pray Salatul Tahajjud. Now, if you cannot wake up in the morning, many people can't. Before you go to sleep, do your wudu, get into your bed, don't stand on the musalla because that'll come later. Just one rakat, Salatul Witr. And then one day you will go to the Musalla, and then instead of one you pray 3, and instead of 3 you pray 11 when it comes to Ramadan. But 3 is okay. So if you want to be part of this, 5 things. What was the first one? Persevere. Second one?
Sadiqin.
Truthful. Third one? Proactively obedient. Fourth one? Share. Fifth one? Do istighfar. In other words, pray salatul. Are you good?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's see the dua they do. They say, Alladina yakuluna Rabbana, our Rabb. Innana amanna. We are no doubt. In other words, we don't doubt. We believe. We know this is going to be okay. Faghfir lana. Istighfar means to cover. I spoke about it last week. Ghifar is a helmet. Okay. Istighfar is not forgive. Istighfar is to cover. Cover. Faghfir lana dhunubana. Dhamb is a tail. It follows you everywhere. It is something you are ashamed of, but you can't tell anyone. You just can't do anything about it. But you're telling him things that are so embarrassing that I'm not proud of. I'm saying, cover up those things that I'm not proud of. I will sort them out. Waqina adhaban. Okay. And save us from the punishment of the fire. It's not forgive, I repeat. Istighfar is to say, cover it. Don't let anybody see it. I just don't want it right now, but I will sort it out. That doesn't mean it's gone away. It means it's not in sight. So you're saying, please don't let anybody see this. It's really embarrassing for me. And this is a continuous dua. I know that in Salah we say, Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina adhaban nar. That's a broad dua. It's like one of those broad antibiotics they give you. Right? But you want a particular one? This one. Anything you're really ashamed of in life, continually. فَغْفِرْ لَنَا ذُنُوبَنَا. Dhan, remember, is a tail. It follows you everywhere, regardless whether you like it or not. Right, next one. Ayatul Shahada. Yes, you can put forgiveness or you can put dua, whatever you want. Okay, now Ayatul Shahada. When I was little, my father used to tell me, you can't finish namaz, you can't get up without Ayatul Kursi, Ayatul Amana Rasul, Ayatul Shahada, and Ayatul Mulk. And he said, don't move your legs. Like I said last time, that's when my legs wanted to move, right? But it became a habit. And he would say, if you read Ayatul Shahada, Jannah is guaranteed. So even if I forgot everything else, I knew Ayatul Shahada would get me Jannah. And my father used to tell me that if you go into your grave and they don't say Qilat Kulil Jannah, tell them I read Ayatul Shahada. I'm telling you, I'm sharing. Oh, they sort out the IT, okay? So Ayatul Shahada is ayah 18 and 19. So the idea of Ayatul Shahada is basically witness. And the moment I say witness, if I said witness, what comes in your head? If I said witness, what comes into your head? Come on. Court. Testimony in court. Something comes up in your head that talks about a court. That's what Shahada is all about. That's witnessing is all about. So here, basically, it's telling you, Shahid Allah. Allah witnesses. Now I know Allah witnesses everything because He's known as Shahid or Shaheed. Okay, so He witnesses everything. What does He witness? Annahu la ilaha illa hu. He witnesses. That means He bears testimony that there is no God but Him. You can't get stronger than that. Then He says, wal malaikatu, and the angels. But the angels don't have a choice, remember. They have to say yes sir, no sir, 3 bags full sir. They don't have free will. You get? So as far as the angels are concerned, yeah, okay, interesting. But then He says, wa ulul ilm, and those who have knowledge. So if you are knowledgeable, He's saying by extension, then you bear witness that there is no God but Allah. I repeat again that in the Qur'an, out of the 114 surah, 86 are Makki and 28 are Madani. 86 talk about La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, and Qiyamah. That's what they talk about. So He's saying that those who have ilm, they actually La ilaha illa hu. So they believe that there is no God but Him. Now, how do they manifest it? Because it's easy to say, I believe. You and I will all say, La ilaha illallah. But how do I know I believe? So the manifestation of belief is qa'iman bil qist. Qist is justice. Now, it's not just normal justice. There are two types of justice. There's personal justice and there's social justice. Personal justice is known as taqwa. Taqwa is where I'm God conscious and I save myself. Social justice is known as qist. Again, there is adala and there's qist. Adil is generalized. Qist is literal social justice. I cannot stand it if there's any injustice going on. If I can't do anything about it, it hurts me inside. I will share. I will make sure things are done. I will not let any sort of unfairness go. That's how it manifests itself. Qa'iman bil qist. That basically if I can say, the center part of this ayah. La ilaha illahu, there is no God but He. Al-Azizul Hakim. Aziz is incomparable. He's incomparable and He's wise. Always, if you want to understand an ayah of Qur'an, then look at the names of Allah that are at the end of the ayah. Normally you'll find 2. In Surah Al-Jumu'ah you'll find 4. But here we're going to look at 2. So you look at Aziz, and then you look at Hakim. Wisdom is not it's not Google. It's not just knowledge. It's knowledge that is practiced. And Aziz, in essence, is that when you believe in Him, you're supposed to be totally incomparable. You good? Okay, next ayah. So that goes on. Now it says other methodologies or other things that are that manifest itself. Inna deen. Deen comes from the word dain. Dain means a loan. You know that in Swahili also. Everybody knows that dain means loan, right? A loan is something that you have to give back. So he says, Inna deen. Deen is literally what you have exchanged your life for. Nobody can tell you what your deen is. That's why you say, I'm a Muslim. Yeah, okay, fair enough. But deen is what you have exchanged your life for, right? So you've given your life, and in exchange you pick that up. In the deen, in the lahil, Islam. With Allah, the only way of life is submission to Him. Submission to Him means following this book, because this is His word. In the deen, in the lahil, Islam. وَمَا اخْتَلَفَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابِ. And those who were given the book, they only differed إِلَّا مِنْ بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْعِلْمُ بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُم. They only differed when the knowledge came to them, and then بَغْيًا بَيْنَهُم means they competed with each other, whose ego would get to the best. I'll give you an example, and please don't get offended. This is nothing against you, this is me, okay? So I used to have a problem with the month of Muharram. Sorry if any of you are doing Alam or whatever you're doing. So in the day of Ashura, they used to wash those sponges, you know the things? And then everybody had touched them throughout the Muharram days, and then you had to drink that water. No? I had an issue with that. Not you, I did. Okay, so every Ashura, I used to walk in here, come downstairs, and they would lay those alams out, whatever symbolic nature that was. Aziza is nodding. And then they washed their sponges. Now, they were all right doing them all this time. But because I mentioned it once, and I'm talking about me because it's easier to mention about me than anybody else, every time I walked in, they said, Yaweche, they quickly hid the stuff. It's nothing to do with me. Absolutely nothing. It's because inside ourselves, we have this thing that says, maybe that's not the right thing to do. If you believe in it, that's fair enough. That's you. It's okay. I just don't think it was right. It just didn't make sense to me. Everybody touched it. Everybody kissed it. I don't know whose lips went where and whose hands went where. There is belief and then there is belief. Do you agree with me? Okay. And so that's what I'm saying. These people differed when something like the Qur'an came, and they couldn't. They had to fight for their rights. Or in other words, they had to fight for power. It wasn't even rights. وَمَنْ يَكْفُرْ بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. And those who cover up the truth about the signs of Allah, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ سَرِيعُ الْحِسَابِ. Allah is quick, very quick in showing you the right way. Don't use this, I'm just using that as an example so you understand what it's about. Logically, it doesn't make sense. Are you good? Please drink the water if you really feel it's got shafa. It's entirely up to you, okay? Right, are you good with Ayatul Shahada? Yes. Witness, you're good with it, okay? Next one is Ayatul Mulk. Again, a phenomenal ayah. By the way, Ayatul Shahada for Jannah. I'm going to look at Ayatul Mulk. There's a person who came to the Prophet before I got into it. And he said, Ya Rasulullah, I am in debt. I'm in a lot of debt. And the Prophet said, recite Ayatul Mulk and recite this dua. I'm going to send it to you on the group, on the WhatsApp group, where he says, Ya Rahman al-Dunya wal-Akhirah, irham man laysa lahu dunya wal-Akhirah. Which means the one who has rahmah on the dunya and the akhirah. Have mercy on the one who neither has the dunya nor the akhirah. And the Prophet says, I guarantee you your debts will be paid. Now debts are not only financial debts, they could be emotional debts, they could be whatever debts you're talking about. Alright, so let's look at Ayatul Mulk. Ayatul Mulk is all about kingdom. Because mulk means kingdom, mulk means ownership. Now often in the Quran, if you look at the du'as in the Quran, they're split. This is very unique. There are du'as that are quoting other prophets. You saw du'as like, even quoting somebody like Asya, Rabbi ibn li indaka baytan fil Jannah. And you will see the dua of Prophet Adam, which we did in Baqarah. You will see the dua of Prophet Ibrahim, Rabbana taqabbal minna innaka antas samiyul alim. So in the Quran you will see many du'as that Allah has quoted the prophets or other people, and this is what he does. But this one is a dua from him. He is giving you and me an order, and he's saying, Qul, say, like you have the 4 quls, or the 5 quls, which Surah Al-Jinn is 5, right? But you recite the 4 quls before you go to sleep. Here it's an order. He says, Qul, say, Allahumma malikal mulk. Call upon me. If you want to call upon me, say, Oh Allah, the Malik of the Mulk, the owner of the kingdom. And he's stressing it. I could say, Oh Allah, the one who has the kingdom. But he said, he's specifying to you that not only do I own this, I control it as well. You and I cannot even promise we're going to get down the stairs today. Yet he tells you, Allahumma malikal mulk. So, not rocket science, that when you're doing dua, Allahumma malikal mulk. And then we want to say, Ya Wahhab, give me this, Ya whatever you want to add up. Okay. Now he says, Tu'til mulka man tasha. I give this kingdom to whomsoever I wish. In a minute we'll talk about it. And then he says, وَتَنْزِعُ الْمُلْكَ مِمَّنْ تَشَاءُ. There's a surah in the Quran called Surah Al-Naziyat, which means to pull out. Pull out something from somewhere where it is comfortable. It says, وَالنَّازِيَاتِ غَرْقًا. When Allah will pull, when the Malikul Maut will pull out my soul is very comfortable in my body. And it's a sense of discomfort. So he says, he will pull away the mulk from whomsoever he wishes. So I know for certain that those who do zulm in the world, they will see an end to it. Don't worry about that at all. Okay? Then he says, وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. Izzah, or Izzat as such, as we might want to call it in Gujarati, is basically authority given through respect. Zillah is authority taken away because of weakness. I repeat again. Authority because of strength is called Izzat, or because of status. Authority because of weakness is known as Zillah. You had a former president of the United States who left his job because of Zillah. Because his weakness did not allow him to have the authority that he wanted. So here if you see, وَتُعِزُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ وَتُذِلُّ مَنْ تَشَاءُ. You and me, when we get a little bit older, at least me, I know, get a little bit older, there is no way things are going to be exactly the same. Okay. Now the nice bit here is بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرِ. He does nothing but goodness. Nothing. So if I were to go to my grave, and they'd say, hello, you've done this, and I say, hello, I believe in Allah who is بِيَدِكَ الْخَيْرِ, in whose hands there is only goodness. You can't touch me. But you need to know it. If you didn't know it, you'd say 326. Okay, fine. إِنَّكَ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ. He can do absolutely anything. Okay. Sayyidah Zainab, recited this in the court of Yazid. She said, تؤتي الملك من تشاء وتعز من وتنزل الملك من تشاء وتعز من تشاء وتذل من تشاء. Yazid, you might be sitting here today and you might be thinking that you have got everything in your hands, but know that all this belongs to Allah. But to know these ayat and to have them within us as and when it's needed is to be able to understand them. And you can do them. Okay, so I'll go back to some practicalities. I think I've got about 5 minutes. Go back to some practicalities. When you're doing dua, Allahumma malikal mulk, and then ask him, because he's ordered this. It's him. He told me to do this. Okay. Right, now, next part of Ayatul Mulk. Tulijul layla fin nahar. Now, tulija actually comes from awlaja. Awlaja means to force something, or to stuff something, or to squeeze something. That's literally what it means. So you are the one who squeezes the night into the day, and then you squeeze the day into the night. Again, I repeat, awlaja is to like stuffing a cushion. Right? It just forces it. You have no choice but to accept it. If I were to say, Khudaya, please don't end the night today, it's not going to happen. I could do what I want. He will do it. He'll force it. Okay. I'll say, please don't let the day end. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Okay. So, تولج الليل في النهار وتولج النهار في الليل. وتخرج الحي من الميت. He can get the living from the dead. وتخرج الميت من الحي. The ulama, the scholars, the one who write the mufassirin, those who write the tafsir, tell you, life can only come with the Qur'an. Life can only come with the knowledge of the Qur'an. Life can only come with knowledge as such. You live because of what you know, or what you do with what you know. Okay. So وتخرج الحي من الميت وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب. And he gives rizq without any measure as such. But this rizq is not only talking about pound signs. The greatest rizq of all, again, is the Qur'an. Greatest rizq of all. To be able to know the book. To be able to say, well, I'm going to 26 and 27. It's great. Again, like I said, he knows his book quite well because he sent it down. So if you get stuck after Salah, your kids are difficult or grandkids are difficult or whatever, and you can't do what you're doing, just say 3, 26, 27. I mean, it can't be that difficult, no? Are you good? You wait till I give you a test, okay? Okay, do I have time? I'm done. Can I do this one? Okay, this is my favorite one. Okay, I said it about
331, yeah.
You love this. 331. You got to do this with me, okay? So in your stickers, you've got a heart with little footsteps on it. Can you see it? I love this ayah. Absolutely love it. Okay, good. In kuntum tuhibbuna Allah. If you love Allah, love manifests itself through emulation. Rumi talks about a stork and a raven. You know what a stork is? This pink thing, and the raven is this black thing. And he's thinking, these two are chatting away like nobody's business. They've got nothing in common. So Rumi says, he goes near, it's a poem by the way, but he says this man goes near these two, and he sees why they're chatting away. They both got broken legs. Similarities bring love. If you love someone, you will start doing what they're doing. You will talk like them. That's why they say when people are married for too long, they start looking like each other. Married for 48 years. Can you imagine going bald? Anyway, so it's just, you start doing things the same way. You know what the other person is going to say. So in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah, are you becoming ilahi or not? He says, one who seeks me finds me. I'm reading it. One who finds me recognizes me. One who recognizes me loves me. One who loves me, I will love him or her. One whom I love, I take back to myself, and I will be his or hers. I love it. Okay. So in kuntum tuhibbuna Allah, just do what he does. And the way to do what he does is to do what his prophet did. Some Sunan Nabi. It's available in English. Follow. Okay. So, قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي. Ittiba means to follow somebody in absolutely everything. So, if I had footsteps on the beach, I will put my foot in each of them. That's ittiba. While ita'a is bare minimum. I repeat again. Ittiba, following it every step. So you know you have these du'as for waking up and du'a while looking in the mirror and du'a while waking clothes, and those du'as are good. Again, look at Sunan al-Nabi, what to eat. Look at Silsilatul Zahabiyah. It is a book written by Imam Rida about health, and try and follow it. It's phenomenal. Anyway, it's not my topic today. So, yuhbibkum Allah. If you do that, fattabi'uni, if you follow the Prophet, it's talking about the Prophet. Yuhbibkum Allah, Allah will love you. And the best part is, وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ. He will cover up that tail of yours. Everything that you are embarrassed about, gone. He will cover it up. He will bury it in the deepest of oceans, and he will say, no fishing. All you have to do is follow the Prophet, and that can't be that difficult, okay? Wallahu ghafurur rahim. Oh my goodness. And Allah is ghafur and rahim. Okay, let's start again. What was ittiba? Following absolutely to the T. What was ita'a? Bare minimum. Now just turn the page, so we look at 32 and then we'll stop. And here you see what it says. Because there are some people who can't do ittiba. So he's amazing because he's God. Right? It says, Kun, say, Ati'ullaha wa Rasul. What was the word used there? Ita'a. Bare minimum. Just the bare minimum. If you did the bare minimum with Allah and His Prophet, look what it says. فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْكَافِرِينَ. I would accept it, except if you turned back. Then I don't love those who cover up the truth. So I'll accept you if you do the bare minimum, but if you turn back, then I will not accept you. Are you good? So close your eyes. Which one is Ayat al-Shahada? What ayah? Don't look. 18 and 19. Okay. What is Ayat al-Mulk? 26 and 27. And what is the loudest footprints? 31. Can't be difficult. 3. And it's so awesome, honestly. This ayah is just out of this world. I can still hear the majlis going on, so you can look at 337, okay? Now 337, your stickers is that basket of fruits. I like this ayah, and the reason why I like it is I've got 338 here. Okay, so 337. فَتَقَبَّلَهَا رَبُّهَا بِقَبُولِ الْحَسَنِ. This is talking about Sayyidah Maryam. Allah accepts her. وَأَنبَتَهَا نَبَاتًا حَسَنًا. And they make her grow. وَكَفَّلَهَا زَكَرِيَّا. And Zakaria looked after. All of you know the story. كُلَّمَا دَخَلَ عَلَيْهَا زَكَرِيَّا الْمِحْرَابَ. Whenever Zakaria entered her room, وَجَدَ عِندَهَا رِزْقًا. He saw fruits out of season. قَالَ يَا مَرْيَمْ. He said, أَنَّ لَكِ هَذَا. Where is this from? قالت. She said, هُوَ مِنْ عِنْدِ اللَّهِ. This is from Allah. إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَرْزُقُ مَن يَشَاءُ بِغَيْرِ حِسَابٍ. You saw that ayah before, okay? He gives from wherever He wants. I'm going to go quickly on to the next ayah. This is where you put the cradle and the baby, okay? There and then, هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا رَبَّهُ. There and then Zakaria did dua. When you are crying, for Imam Hussein, there and then raise your hands. When you see a miracle, like the opening of a flower in spring, or you see the falling of the leaves in autumn, there and then stop and do dua, because that's what he did. هُنَالِكَ دَعَا زَكَرِيَّا. قال 90-odd%. Rabbi habli min ladunka zurriyatan tayyibah. Give me a child. Innaka sami'un dua. Finish your dua with innaka sami'un dua. Nothing is impossible. Nothing. There and then. Anything you see. I'm going to go back to this next week just quickly. And inshallah we'll carry on. But hopefully you will stick your stickers where you have to. I will put more stuff on the WhatsApp group. Look at the bits and pieces that will help you. Are you good with that? Let's look at the Surah Al-Fatiha.